2018. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm gonna play the next clip. Hopefully I don't mess it up like I did the first one.
It's very clear.
Okay, before you play the next
We
clip,
made the
let me
declaration
just
saying
quickly
that
tell
it's
you
too
that
late for restructuring.
part of when Obasanjo came in 1999, and there was and Sharia was declared in 2000. What it meant, and that legally, was that the northerners, those 12 northern states, by declaring this, have seceded from the secular union. You know, Nigeria legally is a secular union. It's a secular union with no religion must overshadow the other one. Right. Your religion is your personal affair. It's not a state affair. Right. But by exercise, they succeeded by exercising their right to self-determination. They wanted an Islamic caliphate and they got it. When Obasanjo was asked, why did you let them do it? He said he felt it would fizzle out, that it would not last. But it has lasted till now, and it has become a big thing now.
Right.
So,
but it goes back to the thing we're saying about our men, how they always compromise the interests of our children, the interests of our nation. It's always they play games. They play boy oh boy, boy knows boy, man knows man, good old boys network with the lives of our people.
But how do you play man no man on Sharia issue? Sharia is a serious issue now.
Right. But he was willing to give it a chance.
It affects the very fabric of our existence. Right. The very fabric of our existence, because their laws are different to the laws of Christianity, to the laws of a secular nation, to the laws of our traditional religion, which is a very what do you call it? It's very, it doesn't interfere. It leaves you to yourself to do what you want to do with your spiritual life. No, I don't know. These men.
It's sad. It's sad. We are just, like I said, thank God there are women like you that are waking up and rising up to the occasion.
Like nobody like me or like you too, for presenting, for giving this platform for us to be able to talk to each other.
Right, because people think that, the Yorubas don't like the Igbos. We love our sisters and brothers just like we love ourselves. It's just that some people don't understand. For us to get out of this mess, love will win. We must come together as brothers and sisters and fight this common enemy. There's no other way.
This fight between the Igbos and the Yorubas is a deliberate narrative by the Caliphate.
Yes.
Just divide and rule. It's just a deliberate, like they keep telling us, if you see the federal government, the Igbos dominated it. They were there. I said Igbos will dominate it for one simple reason. When we were still regions, there were four regions with the federal government. I said the West paid higher salaries than all the other regions. So why on earth would somebody from the West go and work in the federal government and risk being posted around the nation for a smaller salary when you can get more sitting in your backside as it is in your own area and earn more? So the East did not pay that much. The federal government paid more than the East. So the East went federal. And they went around. So they ended up being posted around. So you have Igbos in Kano, you have Igbos in Bauchi, you have Igbos in Gombe, all working as civil servants. Not that they went there to take over people's land, not that they went there to see what was happening there, but they were posted there to work.
Right.
So what is the problem with that? It was just a narrative they were trying to. There's a clip. I wish I'd been able to lay my hand. I would have sent it. I've asked Tony to send it to you to listen to what Amadu Bello said about the Igbos. You can see it was a deliberate narrative to create problems between us.
Right. And we don't want it to work anymore. We mothers are understanding that's the trick.
It's not even working anymore.
Right.
With all these joint alliances we now have, we see more of each other. We talk to each other, and we realize that all those things they told us was not right. Was not right.
Auntie, I must not fail to tell you, my first Italian bag and shoe was given to me by my Yoruba sister here in Houston. She said, this girl, because I don't care about those things, she just packaged you 2 sets and handed it to me. I still have it here in my closet. So we know that we are not different people. We are not looking for who to take their land. We are not looking for who to kill. When the Yoruba and the Eastern people, when we meet together, it's like we've known each other for the longest time, apart from the language barrier. So we thank God for this connection, because this is what we need to move to the next level that we are waiting for. That when we come together and get this key, we can unlock the padlock that is holding us down. So I'm going to play the second video, which is in conjunction with the question that you just answered, just to show that you have been active in this self-determination process.
It's very clear. We made a declaration saying that it's too late for restructuring in Nigeria. You will remember in 1962, there was a massive problem in Nigeria when Awolowo was arrested. Our people talked to us. There was crisis for over 4 years that led to the coup. There was a Yoruba meeting of elders called the Yoruba Leaders of Thought. We relented. The thing continued. Yoruba has continued to lose ground since that time. In 1993, there was the annulment of the June 12 election. Shiju Ade, the former Oni, spoke and said Yoruba should go ahead and conduct an election. We did. It led to nothing. The same thing happened 1998, just before the handover to the democratic elected government. Yoruba did not want to go for anything like Nigeria again. But then it failed. Look at where we are. Yoruba has been losing ground since 1914, and we are just tired. We are not for restructuring. It's too late for restructuring in Nigeria. It's too late for sovereign national conference. It's too late for resource control. What we want now is Oduduwa Republic. And we are very categorical about that. We have made that very clear. We have made declarations, and we are very serious about our demands. Every region just go to its own tent. Yoruba wants to be on its own because the problem that Yoruba has is Nigeria. Nigeria is the problem, is the impediment to Yoruba development. Is the impediment to Oduduwa development. Without Nigeria, we won't be where we are. 1960, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces? I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. The patience of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end.
So we're going to what I was saying earlier was that we are all tired. Our brother mentioned that they are tired, that they're looking for the Oduduwa nation, and everybody is looking for their own self-determination, because we know we have suffered under this Fulani Caliphate British run government. That even no matter the amount of blood we have given, amount of lives we have given, amount of everything that we have, we even left the land for them, for those of us auntie that left the country for them, just for them to make sure they do the right thing. It's like you're missing almost half of your population living in diaspora. Yet you can't manage the ones that are left. Nothing works. Money is always missing. Fire is always burning the house that contains the money. They are just playing games with the lives of our people. And this is happening right in front of us. And we're asking, are we really that daft? Are we really that dumb that we are seeing these people destroying our lives? And we keep saying these people are not up to 2%, auntie. They're not even up to 2% of the population. And they're holding us hostage. And if only our people can understand that. Yeah. Sister Augusta, please go ahead with the next question.
All right. Thank you so much, Sister Muna. So, to Otunba, we hear about the we hear about the MNN alliance. We never thought there could be any alliance between the Southwest and the Southeast. Please, can you lead our viewers into both the YWC and the MNN alliance from the Yoruba perspective?
The MNN alliance, as I said, was birthed in 2011 in Ritalori Hotel. Then all the self-determination groups in the Yoruba land, the one I belong to originally, I think I sent you a video of a third video. We all got together and formed the movement for New Nigeria. And that was the movement that was on, that we were all using till we birthed the Freedom Park Proclamation. Don't forget, remember that all the three solemn assemblies from the Middle Belt, from the Yoruba land, and from the East were all individually done. each area, each region, each area did it on their own, repudiating the constitution. Because we have, by that time, we have all realized that our main problem is the constitution. It's not the people really handling it or executing it. It is that constitution. With that constitution, my sisters, if you put an angel in Nassau Rock, he will behave. He will misbehave.
That's true.
That constitution gives them everything: your resources, the power over your life, the power whether you start a business, whether they can cancel your business, the power over whether you go to school or you don't go to school, whether you have electricity, you don't have electricity. It's all there in the constitution. The constitution is what's really tying everybody down. So by that time, we realized that it's that constitution that has to go, which now, it was why everybody repudiated it. And then we all came together again in 2018 and made that declaration that we refuse to be governed under that constitution anymore. No further elections will be carried out. But our people, when they see money, they become renegades. Mm-hmm. Money was given them again that time. We couldn't do much. But now, after that 2008, by 2019, as I said, once again, God smiled on us. He gave us, I met the current leader of the YWC, and I just felt he would be able to help us. That this man is a historian, he's impartial, he's non-partisan. So I told my brothers from the East that let us go and see him. Later we brought in the people from the Middle Belt. Initially it didn't work because they had this Middle Belt, Southeast Middle Belt Forum, but eventually they saw our own side of it, and eventually YWC bought into our idea, and we now gave them the leadership. So YWC is like the leading group, supervising, or like an umbrella group over all Yoruba agitation groups, activist groups, advocacy groups, whatever. Once you are working for the interests of Yoruba land, you are we've incorporated all of them under Yoruba World Congress. Wow. So that's Yoruba World Congress on its own. The movement for New Nigeria has got, LNC has moved into their own space. The Middle Belt Forum moved into their own space. Mm-hmm. So the movement for New Nigeria is not really as active anymore. What we now have is NINAS, Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, under which we did the Freedom Park proclamation. So that's why. So we've all more or less now moved together. We now work together. We consult each other. All the regions consult each other. Wow. We are doing this. We want to do this. What's the timeline for this? What's this one? That's what we are trying to do now. Working as a group. Wow. You understand?
Right. Right. Than an individual franchise. Yes. It makes sense.
Everybody will be fighting this battle on their own grounds. Mm-hmm. Igbos will not take over Yoruba land. Yorubas are not going to take over Middle Belt land. Ijaws will not come and take over the Midwest Igbo line or whatever they are, or Calabar. Everybody will stand on their own ground and fight this battle. But we'll do it together. You understand?
Right.
Because we are all reaching and hoping for the same goal: independence, ethnic independence. We want to be ethnically independent. Everybody standing. If after we've now won that, everybody now decides that we are not. All these divisions amongst us, they are artificial.
Right.
Yes. It was the Gofulanis who created like Ebonyi State, Taraba State. If you look at it, it's a mixture of Middle Belt and Eastern. They broke Yoruba up into 6 states. In like Ekiti. Ekiti State now has a whole government. There's a whole government in Kwara that's called Ekiti, which means that these people are from Ekiti. You understand? They took Kogi. In creating Kogi, they took a lot of Yoruba land. In creating Kwara, they took a lot of Yoruba land. In creating Lagos State, they took a lot of Jebu land, to create Lagos State. So they just gave us artificial barriers, which we have now seen, and we are pulling down. All those artificial barriers, we are pulling them down bit by bit. So the people in Taraba now know that those of them that are Benue, they'll probably go back to Benue by plebiscite. The ones that are Igbo will come back to Igbo land by plebiscite. But all that will be an internal internal decision once we have gotten our independence from Nigeria. You understand?
Yes, yes.
So once we've gone back to regional, we are hoping we may initially go for regional for the sake of peace. You understand? We go back to the regions. In which case, if we go back to the regions, everybody goes back to their 1963 constitutions and then set up their own constituent lawyers who will work it out. What is outdated there? What is now analog will be removed. We'll make it more modern, but everybody will sort out themselves and decide who they want to go with. You understand?
Right.
So the 12 northern states can stand on their own. They are big enough. They too have their own old northern constitution that they can use if they want. But nobody is giving anybody any orders. Once we sort this thing out on the negotiation table, I think everybody will be able to find their way home eventually.
And that is what we're looking for, Auntie, where we can negotiate ourselves out of this contraption.
Yes, yeah, we are going to negotiate ourselves. By the time we sort this thing out, we'll be negotiating.
Right.
We'll be negotiating. Everybody will negotiate their way out. And when they get out of it, when they get back home, they will now negotiate themselves inwardly. The Calabar is going to be one state. After all, you have nations that are less than 6 million.
Yes.
You understand?
Even 2 million.
So it doesn't really matter. Everybody can be a nation on their own if they feel they can afford it and they have the resources. And those that don't want to be a nation on them, they can join up with others. You know, that's the beauty of what we are planning.
Right.
Nobody is going to be coerced into any regionalism or into any country that they don't want to stay in. You know?
Right.
So there's no problem.
It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense because some people want war. When war comes, the children and the mothers will pay for it. Our men will die for no reason. Whereas we can, if you get to the table where decisions are being made, you can negotiate yourself out of the trouble that you find yourselves in. I almost feel like even the British government is wondering why we have not done this thing all along. Because they look at us and they're like, we call ourselves the most educated, we can even say the most traveled, yet we cannot organize ourselves to extricate ourselves.
But they are at the bottom of our problems now.
No, but they're waiting for us to do what we are doing now.
They don't want Nigeria to succeed now. They don't want us to succeed because it gives them ample opportunity to fleece us of our resources. So the British are part of our problems. In fact, they are even at the bottom of our problems.
I know, but actually what I was saying is that they are this thing that we are doing now, because they know that we're intelligent enough to have started this thing a long time ago. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, we were intelligent enough to have started it, but that narrative you talked about Igbo not trusting Yorubas not trusting, was what kept us from doing it.
Right.
Yes.
Now that we've gotten that out of the way now, you know, we are able to sit down together.
Right.
Wow, that is awesome.